This is my Stihl MS 250 saw. It has the 45 cc two-stroke motor. It was about 10 pounds with an 18-inch bar. This is a really good saw for a homeowner because it's light enough to move around, but just big enough that you can use it both for felling trees as well as taking care of small limbs. Bought this saw about 20 years ago, and it was a lot of money for me at the time. But I'm very glad I did, because it's been invaluable and definitely earned its pay. With all the firewood that it's cut, and the fact that it still runs just like brand new. I've gone through more chains than I can remember, and I've probably replaced the bar 5 or 6 times. You know, these bars do require replacement every once in a while. What'll happen in the bottom, you'll get a little bit of wear, usually around here where you're cutting limbs, and you can flip the bar around upside down. That'll get you twice the life out of it, but eventually, once they get some dirt in there and some wear, you have to replace them. But it's not much money at all for that. But other than that, it's running just like brand new. The chain design on this is really nice. Never once has the saw surprised me, kicked back, or done anything unsafe with all that cutting. And it has a very nice chain brake on it as well, which I always use when I'm not cutting. Yeah, it's very tempting to consider a pretty large saw when you go to buy one, but I think this 18-inch blade is a nice compromise between having something small enough and safe, because the reality is most of the time you're not using the majority of the blade, and for those few trees that are bigger than that, run slow, cut them in half, break the job into 2 passes. And if you're only going to have one saw, this is a nice compromise between a very small saw, which isn't going to fell trees, or a very large saw, which is just going to be heavy and wear you out when all you're trying to do is limb something. The oiling system is perfect. Whoever designed that figured it right. I always use the orange label bar oil, and every single time, 20 years, it always runs through the bar oil slower than it drains the fuel tank. So the bar always stays lubricated. After I'm done, I'll always go through with the air compressor and clean up the overall saw, as well as the bar and the teeth and the blade, the air filter back here as well, just so things are prepped up and ready to go for the next time. Here's kind of an interesting predicament. One of our large trees on the far bank of the river fell into the river, as you can see here. This is one of these rare times when the river is so low you can basically walk across it, but usually it's higher than this. We get a lot of kayakers and canoeists through here, and right where that tree fell on a regular day would be where they would find the deep area to go through. So we'll use our MS 250 to clean that up, and so the next time the rain comes through and people enjoy coming downstream, they'll have a clear path. Okay, I got the wood all cleaned up. Unfortunately, to show you, might end up disturbing these ducks up here. I try to stay away from them. Looks like they're going into the water right now. They see me. Alright, they're taking off. Alright, so over here, that's where the tree was. It was wedged in behind this other big one up here. And that probably would have killed it over time. So it's a good thing got out of that V. So now it'll be a nice clear path for the kayakers to come through where the deep section is over there. You can see some rapids, bypass all these rocks, and go downstream. Look at those ducks go. Here we're standing right about where I was cutting, which is fairly shallow. It's only about a foot deep at the most through here. But here was the base of the tree where it was, but that's where it gets deep. So this is kind of like a cool little sped up rapid right down the bank. We'll hop there in the end to bypass all the shallow sections. So that's free and clear now, which is great. Okay, so there it is in action. 20 years young. My Stihl MS 250. Highly recommended for medium duty residential work.